Hello everyone, and welcome back to Wind Waker. Remember this little bit that I mentioned a while back in the dungeon? Yeah, I remember to get it. No worries. It's just a treasure chart though, so we'll use it later. It's nothing special for the dungeon. Yep. Alright. Moving on. I will meet you back up at the top. And now we're back where we were. Thanks to the warp pots. So now we just have to go get the key to open that big door. The big key, if you will. So now that we're back out here and he's still raging, we just use our grappling hook to go down these ledges. Now that we've acquired this grappling hook. I did just do a test stream recently. Oh. Whoop, cut the bridge. I need that stick, thank you. Alright, and this is what I mentioned. Oh, right, when you defeat both of them, a chest appears. But this is what I mentioned a lot earlier, about bringing a flaming stick across a bridge, because it'll burn the ropes. And obviously, bridges that have no ropes tend to break. And welcome to post-commentary, because my audio got corrupted. Hopefully everything is working alright now. I don't remember what I was talking about for all of this, but I'll try my best. Basically, for the bridge, you can also cut the ropes with your sword, and that will also drop the bridge. And we're about to do the same thing with a spin attack in this cage. And that's to make sure that all the ropes get cut at the same time, so that we don't fall into the lava below. Also, I don't know how I didn't get hurt there, but... And what we're doing here is we're just looking for the way to the big key. This is inside of the maw of the that I showed a lot earlier in the dungeon. And we just grapple hook onto the switch or lever, whatever that is. Also, the grappling hook can be used to kill keys, which is nice. So I'll be doing that until I get a better item to do so. Also, remember this room... Excuse me. Remember this room for later. We'll be coming back to this room after I get a certain item. But that's outside of this dungeon. It'll be in a different episode, so... I'll go over that when I get to that. And now we're at the room with the big key. Now, the chest is surrounded by fire, but there is a button to turn it off. We cannot press and hold that button down. It's one of the buttons that basically it will come back up as soon as you step off of it. So what you have to do is poke this guy in the eye twice, and then pick him up and put him down onto the switch, and that will hold it down for you while you open up the chest and get the big key. So now that we have the big key, we can go back to the room that we got the fairies in and open up that door. And that will lead us to the boss room. Also, there's fire keys that are out and about now that we've gotten the boss or the big key. Basically, fire keys will obviously set you on fire. I don't really know if this does more damage or not, because I normally don't get hit by them. And that's not to say that I don't get set on fire in this game, because there's another enemy that will set you on fire, and I get hit by them a lot. Also, what I did right there was I stopped by holding the ZR button, and that allowed me to climb up, and in the original game, that is also how you turned. You couldn't turn while swinging. It's a really nice addition that they made for the HD remake of the game, because there's a lot of rope swinging, and it makes it a lot nicer to... It's more fluid motion, I should say. And this will bring us right back up to where we were before. And it's a long way down. Also, rocks just started falling, so I panicked a little bit and ran away. There's more fire keys in this room as well, so make sure to not get hit by them. And what you want to do to get up is just grab a vase of water and throw it over here, because there is a fire geyser that will appear, and it will bring you all the way back up to the top, and that will allow you to go back outside. And don't mind me getting distracted by the bokoblin here. I just went and completely forgot to, and then went to go show off what the grappling hook does in normal combat against normal enemies, as opposed to keys. Also, I got hit again. But basically, it'll allow you to steal the enemy's items. So when you hit a bokoblin with the grappling hook, you'll be able to take their joy pendants from them. And now that we're back outside, we can just use our grappling hook to go straight back up where we came down, and head right up to the big door. And once we unlock that, we'll be where we need to be for the dungeon. That is where Valu's tail is hanging down, and we will investigate what is going on there. Also, I think it was around this point that I was talking about how I was going to figure out a way to heal after every set of recording sessions, since the health does not stay the same once you quit. Also, the fairies respawned because I did quit, and this is the second session for the dungeon. And here I'm showing off that you can parry those guys and just one-shot them. Sometimes if you're at an odd angle for them, though, like being on the stairs, the parry might fail and you might get hit. It doesn't happen a huge amount, but it sometimes will happen. Also, I'm preparing here for taking a picture of the boss, and for those of you that don't need it, it doesn't matter, or that don't care, I should say, as well, because it's not really required, but it's relatively quickly, or I think it's relatively quickly, or I might fail a lot. I forget how it goes. Also, the tail is hanging down into this room, as stated before, and, well, we found what's agitating the tail. Looks friendly. Very friendly. But before I get into taking the picture of the boss, I'm going to discuss a few little things about how the boss attacks. The first way he attacks is by bearing down on you and breathing fire right where you were. What you do is you just roll through the hole in his claw. And the other way that he attacks is just with one pincer, and that will also stick into the ground, and you'll get a chance to grapple hook onto the tail and miss where you're trying to go. But the bedrock slate that's above there is just going to fall down on him and crush his armor, and then he's, sillily enough, just going to put it right back up where it was. Also, if you're not far enough away from the lava there, the fireballs that just came out can hit you. And Prepare for picture failure. Yep. I get hit a lot trying to get this picture. Because it's not exactly easy. There we go. And, but what I was trying to do is I was trying to land up above because it's easier for me to take the picture from up above, because when you're up above, I just died, but if you're up above, you have a better chance of getting the picture, because the only attack that he can do, as far as I know, is breathe fire at you directly, and that takes a little bit longer for him to wind up. But basically, you just have to grapple hook onto the tail again, and of course, I land up there. And so now we've crushed his armor twice. With usual Zelda tradition, we have to crush it a third time, because the boss doesn't learn, and puts the bedrock right back up where it was. How kind of him. Also, right here I'm pointing out that it's easier to get a shot of the boss from up above, and also it's easier to grapple hook onto the tail relatively quickly. Also, if you stay swinging on the tail for too long, he will breathe fire at you, and that will of course make you fall straight into the lava, and I think that'll make you get hurt twice. I'm not 100% sure of that though. But now that we've broken his armor 3 times, he shatters the bedrock and his armor. So now he's exposed. And he's just a giant one of those things that we were killing earlier. And all you have to do now is just grab his eyeball with the grappling hook, drag him down, and then break it in half. And that's the boss fight. And as the boss explodes, its head flies towards us. And what do we get from it? A view out of bounds. No, we get a heart container. So now we can have 4 hearts instead of 3, which will help us tremendously throughout the rest of the game, because that will mean that I can take 2 more hits depending on the enemy. Because basically I can't take quarter heart hits, since it's hero mode and all damage is doubled. And all you do to get out is just step into the wind circle. Not really sure what to call it. And I will leave you with the cutscene because I have nothing to say. And with that, we get dropped down at the beach right where we started. But we have some visitors. And my question is, how do they know where we're going to appear? Is there always a warp thing in there that takes you to this exact spot? Who knows? Also, now Prince Kamali is apologizing to us. And now he's giving us the pearl that we came here for in the first place. So now we have Din's Pearl, which is well and dandy. But we're not done with talking to people yet. Thanks to this being a second playthrough, we can understand Hylian. So we can understand what Valoo is saying here. In the normal playthrough, you cannot understand it because it's in Hylian, unless you understand the Hylian, of course, which I probably have a few people that I know that can read it. I can read a different Hylian, not this Hylian, though. They also mention about the wind god statues over there, and we've already done that, so we don't have to worry about it. Prince Kamali is going off to go get his wings, and she's going to follow him. Now that we've taken care of all our errands here, we just have to get back with the King of Red Lions, tell him that we did a good job, and all that, and then we can go wherever we need to go from there. However, he's saying that we're in a rush, and now he won't let us in. Basically, if you talk to him again, he'll let you know, hey, the wind's not blowing the right direction, so we're going to fix that by playing the Wind's Requiem and change the wind so that we can go south. And then we're going to get into the boat. And we're not actually going south, so we're going to change the wind direction again. Because I have some errands to run over at Windfall Island. But my first little errand quest gets cut short relatively quickly because there's something that interrupts us. Because, well, talking fish people exist. How exciting is that? But he's commenting about how our sea chart has nothing but seas on it. So now he's going to pull a paintbrush out of somewhere and give us the chart for this island. So now we have the chart for Dragon Roost Island. Now we have the map for it proper. And he'll give us a little hint about it, which we'll do that later because I don't have the items to do it. Because he talks about flying, and I can't fly. And he's also going to tell all of his brethren, so all the other talking fish people, that we are on a quest, and if we throw bait in the water, to give us a map of the place that we're at. And they also apparently know the King of Red Lions, and owe a debt to him. Not sure what that's about still, but it's alright. So, I will see you when we get to Windfall Island, because I'll be cutting out the sailing. If you look really closely, now that we're coming back up to Windfall Island, there's a little fish that flies up in the background that's really hard to see, but it's there. And we're going to take a really quick detour to get some extra rupees from this glowing light circle. And this is me showing off really, really quickly that the grappling hook can be used on the ocean to basically salvage for whatever's down there. And it's always treasure chests. It's not always treasure chests. It's mostly treasure chests. And a lot of them are filled with just a couple of rupees, like 20 to 50. Sorry for the quick cut there. I was switching over to the Pro Controller, and I'm going to be showing off treasure charts really quick. And basically for this, you just have to scroll through them and press A to open them up. And basically that'll allow you to see a giant light beam where large treasure is located. And we already know where one of the treasures is because, hey, we just got a map. So that confirms where that treasure is. So now we just have to go and get it. Anyway, now that we're at Windfall, we can do a couple of things now that we have the Wind Waker. And it's not quite the next day yet, and I'll show you that in a sec, because this guy is still walking around, and not with the person that we set him up with. Oh well. We can change that though, thanks to this guy right here. And basically, this is Tot, as I explained originally. He likes to dance. However, he has no sense of rhythm. But he talks about something to do with day to night, night to day, and talks about having a rhythm. And hey, we have a conductor's wand. Let's give him a beat. And now he remembers. So now he's going to show us this dance. Which is interesting enough, but basically it's just right, left, and then down. And that is the Song of Passing. However, Tot lacks a certain magical touch that's needed to activate it. So, sorry, Tot. Maybe next time. But because I need it to be nighttime for my next errand, we are going to play the Song of Passing and let it be night. Which is highly convenient, and totally doesn't sound exactly like the Sun song. And Tot is still dancing the night away. Party every night and party every day. And that's just what he'll do for the rest of the game. And quick note here, Beetle appears at this island at night. Not sure why they made it only at night, but they did. I don't remember exactly what he carries. We're not investigating right now, but we will later. But the door that we're going to is for something a little special that's unique to this game. This is where auctions are held. And the auctions are held by the guy that we bought the sail from. And basically, it's a little tiny mini game of sorts. However, I am going to cut ahead because it will take a while for me to get to the item that I am looking for. So don't worry too much about this. I'll be getting all the items later on, and I will not be showing the entire time of that. It'll be a really quick situation. That will be after we get many, many more rupees than we have currently, and have the ability to carry more, because we don't have enough for everything. And I'm actually going to speed up the entire auction process, so welcome to ludicrous speed bidding. It may not look it yet, but there we go. Basically what you have to do for this is just mash the A button as fast as you can, and then you can bid 10%, and it will stun them temporarily. And then you bid another 10% when you think they're about to be unstunned. And you just do that a couple of times. And that's all there is to it, really. And there is something to note. Every time he calls out, if they aren't stunned, they'll usually end up doing a bid during that time. But thanks to the power of video editing, the auction is already over. And we are the victors for 191 rupees, because I went overboard a little bit because I was just like, oh, the heck with it. But we are now proud owners of the Swift Sail, and we will be faster than ever, and we will always have a favorable wind, so now we don't have to play the song to change the wind anymore, which is why I didn't remember its name for a while. And now that we have extra rupees, there's something else we have to do. Remember Battle Squid? Yeah, we're gonna go do that today. So, let's skip right ahead to that then. And I did speed up the playing to about 200%, and I actually did it first try. I got it in 19, and I was extremely excited about it when it happened, because it's so hard for me to actually get it with the high score. But once you get it with the high score once, you don't actually have to do it again. The second time you have to beat it, you just need to win. But the first time you win, you get a piece of heart, and the first time you break the record, you get a treasure chart. So we got a piece of heart and a treasure chart. Sorry. The weird things that my brain thinks of sometimes. but I'm going to cut ahead to the next time that I beat it, because that one took a little bit. Unfortunately, none of the game audio from this point on survived, but at least I have the footage, so when you beat it the second time, like I said earlier, you do get something different. You get a treasure chart. So this game has 2 treasure charts and a heart piece that you can acquire. I don't remember what the treasure charts lead to, but I suppose we'll figure that out when we open them up and when we go and get the treasure. But for now, that will be all, other than a little tiny thing that we have to do outside really quick, because it is still nighttime. And that is that we have to go take a picture of the full moon. And I will cut to that really quick. And this is just outside of the game place that we were just in. There's a set of stairs to the left, but basically, I went up here to remind myself to do something later on, and I noticed that the moon was full, so I went ahead and took a picture of it because of the person right there. That person wants a pictograph of the moon, but it has to be the full moon, and they only want it during the day. So I went ahead and took that right now to get it out of the way. And, yeah. Not much else to say. Other than I will see you all next time, and I will hopefully not have as many technical difficulties. Come on. Don't be like this. Oh no, 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 no. No. Why?